We are Asset, your alliance for success.
through synergy of the Egalitarian and Transcendent.
Hi, I'm Charissa.
I'm Korg.
I'm Pat.
I'm Alliesa.
Hi, I'm Jemmo.
And I'm Tiffany.
And once again,
We are Asset. For today's agenda, we'll be discussing the background and objectives of our advocacy.
All the general information that you need to know.
Our main advocacy theme and the people who we will be working with.
And all the event-specific details.
So without further ado, let's dive in.
Health literacy. Did you know that a low level of health literacy is a significant cause of the increasing number of unhealthy Filipinos? According to Santiago 2019, this has been linked to poor health outcomes like higher rates of hospitalization and a lack of willingness to subscribe to preventive services.
As a result, this causes significantly higher costs Filipino allocate towards their healthcare systems.
Which leads us to our next problem.
Financial literacy.
Surveys showed that Filipinos barely answered financial literacy questions correctly, underperforming at the concepts of inflation, interest computation, and simple division. This shows the lack of knowledge in the field.
The growing concern for financial literacy in education has pushed the Department of Education to issue the Financial Education Policy, with the aim to make financial education an essential topic in school.
However, with parents having low educational attainment, not everyone has the capacity to receive the opportunity to learn about financial literacy. This leads us to our next concern.
Because financial decisions are a huge factor in familial issues, Asset aims to strengthen
Family literacy. Did you know that children with a richer home literacy environment displayed higher levels of reading knowledge and skills?
We believe through family literacy programs, parents are encouraged to make an effort in order to improve themselves.
This in turn may be succeeded by their children for sustainable changes to happen in the family.
With all of that said, we at
Asset.
Have a common goal.
That's why we advocate for
Empowering Filipino families with literacy education along the hierarchy. But how are we going to achieve and address all of this?
This is where our event comes in.
Together, we present to you Family Literacy.
Empowering
Filipino families.
True literacy.
and education.
The initial planning stage started last March 1 to March 5, 2022.
These days were allocated to assess the knowledge of the target audience about health, financial, and family literacy through a structured survey.
Immediately followed by this is the interpretation of the gathered data.
March 6 to 13 were allocated to interpreting information and researching appropriate methods to significantly address and give counsel that is needed to achieve and/or deepen health, financial, and family literacy.
By March 14, our team
Asset.
Developed an overview of the advocacy and then sent formal email invitations to persuade possible event speakers and sponsors.
After sending out the invitations, our team promptly arranged meetings with the people who responded as soon as possible.
From March 15 to 20, the plan is to discuss intended learning outcomes with the invited speakers who agree to participate in the proposed event.
And with the plan coming together into fruition,
Asset.
Dedicates March 20 to 22 for the preparation of the presentation, which will lay out the flow of events for the particular days of the event.
Expecting that everything will go smoothly according to our calendar.
Asset.
dedicates March 23 and 31 for enumerating and purchasing necessary decorations, inspecting the event proper, recruiting event volunteers, and conducting a meeting about the flow of events.
All the final preparation, meetings, and discussions for the event will be done during this time.
And if everything is all set and done,
the event will begin on April 1, 2022 and will conclude on April 3, 2022.
Asset.
Believes that 3 days is enough for the plan that the group has prepared.
This will give ample time to teach the three skills effectively, efficiently, and in detail.
And finally, once the event is over,
Asset.
Prepare the dates April 4 to 6 to gather the feedback of the participants of the said event.
A post-implementation meeting is set to evaluate, assess, and determine the success of the project.
As for the objectives of our event,
We believe that knowledge is one of the greatest assets
that a person can have.
Knowledge helps us overcome current hardships in life, such as poverty, health, and financial problems.
Because of this,
asset
aims to make education accessible to less fortunate families by empowering them through financial and literacy skills.
Our program's goal is specifically to
assist adults to become literate and obtain the knowledge and skills that may lead to continual development concerning the economic opportunities for their family.
Knowledge help us to become competent and socially equipped individuals.
Assist adults or families to navigate the complex healthcare system and ensure that they are able to receive fair medical treatment and services.
Facilitate adults' understanding of medical consent forms and doctors' prescriptions.
To instill budgeting skills among underprivileged families to better manage their resources.
And finally, give the importance of managing finances among families so that they will be able to plan their finances efficiently.
But who is going to benefit from this?
We at
Asset
Selected the families that are located in Barangay 143, Tondo, Manila to be the beneficiaries of this project.
The beneficiaries were not selected by chance.
Asset
Wanted to target poor to low income families.
Since the event aims to be a bridge of access to literacy skills, the target audiences will be less fortunate families from Barangay 143, Tondo, Manila, who are in the low to poor income sector in the social hierarchy.
The families may either be nuclear families, families with single parents, restructured families, or extended families.
Also, children below 18 years old are part of the target audience since they can utilize literacy skills for health and academics.
Furthermore, the event aims to have a total of 1,000 participants or more across the 3-day period.
For the time, date, and venue,
The event will be held in the UST Buenaventura Garcia Paredes OP building, more commonly known as Vigipop.
The place was selected since there is a grand ballroom to cater to the large volume of audience for the event.
Moving on,
April 1, the first day of the event, is scheduled for Health Literacy Seminar.
Followed immediately by the Financial Literacy Program on April 2.
lastly, Family Literacy Seminar is set on the last day of April 3rd.
As we approach the end of our advocacy plan presentation,
Asset believes that this event would not be possible without the help of the following partners.
first and foremost, the spearhead of our event, the Education Foundation of the Philippines.
This organization advocates for greater access to education in the country and has provided various resources to students and teachers which will aid the event's goal of giving less fortunate families an opportunity to learn helpful skills that will eventually help them overcome financial difficulties and poverty.
Coming in at numbers 2 and 3, the UST-AMV COA, Community Achievers Association or COMA, and the National Service Training Program Organization of UST-AMV.
Representatives and students of the Literacy Training Program of the NSTP and the volunteers of COMAC will be a great help to us. Also, we share a common goal as these organizations focus on community service and granting service to children, out-of-school youth, and family through literacy skills.
lastly at 4 and 5, the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, more commonly known as TESDA, and Manila City Local Government Unit.
TESDA may help the team through the form of financial assistance to achieve its goals of educating the youth and the families. Together with Manila's LGU, the team expects a safe and smooth flow of the program with their help.
Meet our mascot, a sensei. As we observe, a sensei takes the form of an octopus, an animal that represents intelligence and reason. This detail symbolizes the overall fundamental facet of our event.
Taking a closer look to Asensei, a variety of details are evident, such as its eyes which signify financial literacy, the presence of the Celtic logo on the lower left of its cloak which symbolizes family.
Opposite to the Celtic logo, the medical heart is located in the upper right of its cloak, representing health literacy.
Lastly, you can see a sensei carrying books as a way to promote literacy and incorporate the team name Asset.
Presented is our poster invitation that contains essential details about our team, our advocacy, and our program in accordance with it. Symbolisms include representation of a home or family and the roles of health, family, and financial literacy in its growth.
And with all of that said, once again, this is
Family literacy.
Empower Filipino families through literacy and education.
Presented to you by
Asset,
your alliance for success through synergy of the Egalitarian and Transcendent.
Always remember that knowledge is one of the greatest
Asset.
that you can hold.